Morning all, Saturday the 17th of June. No big trips anywhere today, no major walks anywhere. I'm going to have an easy weekend this weekend. Funds are a little bit short, plus I feel like relaxing. So I'm over the campsite, but I am going for a walk from the campsite down into Baldock, which is a good long walk to get some supplies. Had a really good night last night. Really slept well. Set up an awning for the first time last night, put some lights around it, sat out there, watched some TV. Had a real good long telephone call with my wife, which was lovely, and then slept all night long solidly. And yeah, I've just made a decision. I might stay here again tonight. I know I'm going to see my boy, my youngest son, tomorrow. He wants to see me because it's Father's Day, which is nice. So yeah, I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm just going to have a walk around these fields into Baldock, go to Tesco's, get some supplies. Regarding the diet, I'm still on it through the week, don't get me wrong, but this weekend I treated myself to a couple of bacon rolls, and I cooked a steak for dinner last night. But nothing else really fattening, I don't think. Nothing else really bad for me. As for alcohol, I had a bottle of Smirnoff Ice, and that was that. But other than that, everything's still the same. So yeah, the diet is still going strong. I don't know what I'm going to get for dinner today, mind. I'm still on the chicken and broccoli through the week, right? That's definitely happening. I'm not giving that up, and I'm incorporating the salmon. But at the weekend, I feel like at least one of the meals for each day has to be something a little bit more, well, not normal, but different from the chicken and broccoli. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm still losing the weight. I think being a bit more mindful about what I eat is working loads as well, and it's nice. So I look forward to the weekends to having a proper meal, but I don't overindulge. I don't go too mad with it, because I just end up feeling devastated if I put weight on. So what I'm doing for me is working, and believe me, when you lose a bit of weight and you get on them scales and you see you're lighter, there's no better feeling. Well, actually, there's a lie. There is a better feeling, and that's when you realise that your clothes are getting too big for you and you have to buy a size smaller. That's fucking brilliant, that is. I mean, that's next level. Because for me, because I've been so big for many years now, the only clothes that I'd be able to buy were the ones that fitted, you know. So there was no names, nothing of any style at all. Not that that bothered me, but it's now nice to go to a proper shop, you know, and get something that I like, rather than something that just fits. Does that make sense? That in itself is definitely worth dieting for. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm gonna have a wander. I might bring you back shortly. And of course, I've managed to get myself onto a country lane. I know I'm headed in the right direction of Baldock, but I've ended up on a road rather than in a field. So let's hope I can find a bridleway. Can't believe it's happened again. Well, it seems we've skipped to Sunday now. Yesterday as I was doing that walk, I got a phone call from my wife and we just had a bit of a natter for a good couple of hours, and I kept walking through that duration. Ended up doing, I don't know, about 6-7 miles, something like that. So that was nice. Putting your headphones in, having a chat with someone while you're walking makes the whole thing go a lot quicker as well. It feels like you've got someone with you. Because I know through my experience, walking on your own, sometimes your mind's all over the place, and I don't know, it takes forever to get anywhere. But anyway, yeah, we was having a natter, and that was really nice. It made the whole walk really easy, to be honest, and that was good. Hence why I didn't do any more filming. Anyway, Sunday now, Father's Day, so happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Hope you have a good one. It's still relatively early here, it's coming up 9 o'clock, and I think my youngest son is going to come and say hello to me today, which will be nice. Even if it's for a little while, that'll be nice. I don't know what the plans are today. I know I'm just going to get out and do a walk, get up to me required steps, and then see what happens. I did stay at the campsite again last night. I was only going to be there one night, but it was such a good day yesterday, I thought I'd book in again overnight, so I did. Had a nice dinner and sat and played online Scrabble as well. That was good. You know, even though you're on your own, if you can find someone to have an online game with, then that's a good bit of way to, you know, spend a bit of time. So I enjoyed that. Slept rather well, apart from I think it was about midnight, and the fucking heavens opened. The noise of the rain on the van last night was bloody horrific. It was, but it didn't last very long. Anyway, that's where we are. If I've got anything else to say or film, I shall bring you back shortly, but at the moment I ain't got nothing else to say. Well, I'm going to list the pros and cons of living in a van, right? Now, this list is aimed more at people that live in their vans for a means to an end, not going out and exploring, living the Instagram van life. I'm on about people that have to do it because there's no other way. So, the pros for me, when you do find a good park up, whether it be in a campsite or in a lay-by or on the side of the road, and you're safe and secure, it can feel quite relaxing. It is nice. It does feel like you're on a permanent holiday. But on the flip side of that, if you can't find anywhere to go, or you've encountered trouble in the past, it makes you insanely paranoid. You won't sleep very well, and you always worry about whether you're going to be safe. But I think if you do your research, you'll be all right. I'm not really an urban camper down streets and in front of people's houses. I try to avoid that. I started off by doing that when I first moved into a van, but I couldn't get on with that. It ended up being too noisy for me. So if you can get out in the sticks or find a campsite, you'll be all right. The next positive thing is saving money. You don't have to pay your rent and your water and your council tax and all that stuff, which you spend, what, 75-80% of your wages on. It's just to survive in your house. When you think about that through your life, you spend an obscene amount of money just on having a roof over your head. It's quite depressing when you break it down and you think of it, because there's more to life than work and paying bills. There really is. Not that a lot of people see it that way. So yeah, that's a positive when it comes to money saving. Another negative is, or for me, is the loneliness. I spend an obscene amount of time on my own after work and at weekends. All right, I get the phone calls from my wife and I get to see my kids from time to time, but there are evenings and you sit there on your campsite or your park up and you see other people and you see them together, husband and wife or partners or whatever, and you look at them and you think to yourself, do you know what, I could do with some of that, just having a bit of company, because loneliness really can kick in, and I suffer with this quite badly, and I've said things to some close people to me which I fucking regret so much, and I become jealous, and that's awful. That really is fucking awful. So, but if you are happy with your own company, you'll be all right. But I guarantee there will be times when you think I could do with a bit of company. So that's I think that's probably one of my biggest negatives when it comes to living in a van, actually, over everything, you know. It's just all that time on your own. Anyway, that's that. Another positive is when you found that park up, it's another tick on the map of somewhere that you've been. You know, instead of being isolated to one location and you're waking up and you're opening your door and you're seeing the same thing over and over again, you're seeing something different all the time. That's if you have multiple park ups. This leads me on to another positive, actually, is about the van life community. There are a few very well-known van lifers out there whose YouTube channels are massive and they're doing well for themselves, but you try and reach out to them when you're a tiny YouTuber. try and have a chat with them. Believe me, they a lot of them just ignore you. But there is a few others that are in the same boat as me on a smaller channel, and they do reach out to me, and we communicate with each other. You know, I've got a WhatsApp group for a few of us, and it's nice for us to have a bit of a chat. You know, if any of us are in trouble, we put a message out, ask for a little bit of help, and the help usually comes. Or even if you just want to vent some anger, they'll listen to you. So yeah, that's good. I like that. The van life community is pretty good, but I do recommend that you don't set your standards high with going after all these what I call elite van lifers, because even if you do leave them comments in their YouTube or get in touch with them via Instagram, sometimes you will see the message has been read, but they don't respond. But then that's just me. I mean, that could be me. They could look upon me and think, fuck off, I ain't talking to him, he looks a bit weird. Wouldn't blame him for that. But if you are a bit of a Instagram fucking dolly bird or something, then the chances are you will get a response. But yeah, don't get me wrong, I do have my community people to chat to, which really can make all the difference when you're having a bad day. Reflection to what I just said about the elite van lifers not responding to you, I think I was being a bit bitter about that. I think because I don't think they're ignoring me or anybody else for that matter. I think because of the size of their channel, you could be talking over 30,000 people following them and a lot of people trying to make contact with them. So I'm thinking that maybe just being ignored is a bit wrong of me to say that. I think it's going to have to be down to the sheer volume of people trying to contact them, and they can only go so far, can't they? So yeah, I apologise for that comment. I think, don't get me wrong, a lot of the bigger van lifers, their channels are good, I must admit, they really are, but for me I think it's more appealing when I'm trying to watch people that are struggling through, to see how they survive, to see how they cope, you know, on a small amount of money, living day by day to get by. I find that quite entertaining, more than the people that are lucky enough to have a lot of money and go travelling. But that's just me. Anyway, moving on to the next positive. Believe it or not, it could be a bit of a paradox, I think. It's about the stuff that you buy, right? When you're in a house or a flat or wherever, you go to the shop and you think, yeah, I like that, I'm just going to buy that, and then figure out where you're going to put it when you get back home. Now when you're living in a small space like I am, you don't really have that luxury. You have to really think, and you have to really consider whether you have got room to put this item. And after I moved out of the flat that I was in with my wife and put all my stuff in a garage, you look through this stuff and you think, fucking hell, I don't need that. There's stuff that you don't even look at or pulled out of a box for many, many years you forgot you had, so a lot of it is pointless. So it does make you think differently when you're in a small space about what you need. So I suggest just have your essentials with the odd, you know, ornament or whatever it is that holds a little bit of sentimental value to you. Because all these things that we do buy in shops, we don't really fucking need, trust me. And they're not missed. I've got rid of loads of stuff now that I don't miss. And for the bigger items that I have got that I can't get rid of yet, they're locked away in the garage. So yeah, it does make you more mindful of space you've got, and that, trust me, really is a positive. Now, another positive of mine is because of all the free time you've got, especially in the evenings through the winter months when you ain't got a lot to do, is pursuing a hobby or something online to educate yourself, you know, some more education, training, courses, something like that. I recently done wasn't a very long course, I'd done a narcissism awareness course, which I found very interesting. It was quite interactive at certain times. You watched a bunch of videos, and anyway, I'll let you look into that for yourself if that's the sort of thing you're interested in. But for me, it killed a lot of time. So being on your own in the evening, pursue some hobbies. It certainly helps. Another negative or a con is the heat when you're in a van. If you're in a cheap van like mine, which is green with no air conditioning, heat is a big issue. Not so much when you're driving, because you can just open your windows and deal with that, that's fine. But through the night, it can be a bit of a pain. But I do have a few tips with that. I have several USB fans to keep the air moving. On a really hot night, I've got a normal desk fan, plug-in one, which I plug in the Jackery, which works a treat. But because the hot nights are obviously in the summer, all the campsites are open. Find yourself the nearest campsite, tuck yourself away in a corner or near a hedge, and then you can sleep with your doors open. And that really does work a treat. That's one way to cope with it. I know a lot of van lifers have got the max air fans, and 2 of them, and they can keep the air moving through, but I mean, they're fucking well expensive, and I haven't got the funds to do that, and I wouldn't do that. This is about living basically. So yeah, that's my advice. Find a campsite, open the doors, you'll be all right. Laundry is another one you've got to think about. It's not a negative really, you just got to be a bit more prepared. So for me, I'm alright, I can use my boy's house if I need to, and I've also got access to a laundrette in the town. It's about a tenner I think for a wash, and then I dry stuff manually at work, so it's not really an issue. It just takes a little bit of planning. Yeah, I think that's all we've got to say on that really. This is a bit turning into more of a how to survive in a van rather than a pros and cons video. But it still makes sense, doesn't it? Making sure you have enough water is an essential thing as well. You see many YouTubers go out there and they fill up from churches, allotments and petrol stations. Me, personally, I buy bottled water. I prefer it. So that's what I do. Usually get 5 litres at a time, and that will easily last me a weekend, if not a bit longer. So yeah, just make sure you've got enough water for your tea and your coffee. Easy.